everyone, it's Miss Kent. I thought I would hop on here and give a little art inspiration each day and show you just what I'm doing to help make some art in my day and keep calm while everything is a little weird, and maybe inspire you to do a little extra art at home. This is not assignments. Nothing I do in these little afternoon tidbits will be assigned work that you have to do, but I would love for you to try them if something that you see on here inspires you or makes you want to do more art. But I just want to stay connected with all of you guys and show you what I'm doing and maybe even introduce you to some of my family members. We'll see where the weeks take us. But today we're going to do a doodle activity inspired by this book called The Doodle Revolution. So this book is actually written for adults who want to start to incorporate doodling into their professional life and their work life, and adults who don't feel very confident in their drawing abilities. But it also has some great exercises and activities for us. And so I found the idea for this in here. And it has to do with lines. So I'm going to pull my sketchbook out and we're going to just jump right in. I'm going to be using a pen, my sketchbook, and then I've got some colored pencils in here. But if you don't have these things at home, you can do this with a pencil or markers or just pens. Really anything you have at home, you can do this with. If you have something that can make a line on a piece of paper or even a piece of recycled cardboard or anything like that, then you have what you need. All right, so I've opened up my sketchbook and I've turned it landscape style. That means horizontally or side to side, where the wider part is the top and the bottom. And I'm going to start by making a line. A line is a dot that went for a walk. So I am going to take my dot for a little walk. I'm going to start in the corner, but you can start anywhere on your paper. And I'm going to go wherever my brain tells me to go. I don't want to think about it too hard. Doodling is supposed to be relaxing and mindless. Maybe my dot goes on a curly walk. Maybe it goes on a straight line kind of walk. Maybe it crosses over places that I've been before. Maybe it goes on a wavy walk. Maybe it goes on a zigzag walk or a crazy walk. Maybe it goes on this sort of walk. And if I don't love how it looks, that's okay. We're going to go with it. I'm going to just go crazy. I'm not even thinking that much about it. I'm just going for it. And I'm going to just take my dot all the way back to home base where it started right there. So now what I have is this crazy shape. And there's a lot of things I can do with these crazy shapes. For me, because I have some colored pencils at home, I'm just going to start coloring it. But I'll show you a few different things. One thing I could do, third graders have learned this, but some of you haven't, is Zentangle, which is creating your own patterns that can go inside of the shape. So maybe I can put a zigzag pattern, because you see how my dots walk? Started to create some shapes. So I can go in there and make a shape. I can even go in and I can use shading, which is when you color it in to make it darker. I can make these stripes darker. Maybe inside of a different shape, like I like the shape here. I can do some fish scales, which are like rainbows that all build on top of each other. I could do, what's some other things I could do? I could add some stripes. So do you see how I'm just finding the different shapes? Another way I could do this that doesn't include pattern but includes some color is I can find the shapes and color it in. And I want to remember that I always want to use my very best craftsmanship when I'm coloring things in, which means doing my best to stay in the line, not being too scrabbly unless I'm doing it very much on purpose and for a purpose. Notice how when I color with different types of marks and I go side to side, it's very uniform. If I go like this, it gives it some texture. So I'm going to fill it in like this. You may also remember that you can layer things like crayons and colored pencil and markers. You can layer them on top of each other to make new colors all your own. So if I had red there, I might take, see what happens when I take this nice purpley color and layer it on top. Just makes it a little bit darker and gives it a little bit more depth. I'm liking adding the color. I'm going to add some more color. I love this turquoise color. It's one of my favorites. I may even be able to do an ombre or a gradient. A gradient is when it slowly goes from light to dark. So if I fill this shape in like this, and then take a darker color and layer it on top. And the way that I make it a nice smooth change is I push really hard up here, but then I push less hard as I go down. Let's see, I like how that looks. I might have to do that over somewhere else. Where should I do it? Maybe here. Let's see, I'm gonna take this orange. I wanna do bright, happy colors. Oh, look, the sun is coming out. I love the sun. Yay. Notice how I'm using the element of art called balance. When I add a color in one place, I'm trying to balance it out by putting it somewhere else. So when I'm thinking through that, I'm thinking about how can I give my art some balance. When I start putting one color in one spot, I can bring balance to my piece by adding it in a different spot too. So I've been focusing on these smaller shapes, but it might be that I also want to give some color to these bigger, weirder shapes that happen in between. Like this shape is really big. So maybe I'll color it in. This would be a form of abstract art because I'm not drawing anything specific. I'm just using color, line, shapes, and the other elements and principles of art, like balance, pattern, those things, to make a piece of art. This is kind of reminding me of some of Kandinsky's art. I love Kandinsky. Kandinsky would listen to music, and he would make art inspired by the music he was listening to. And a lot of times it was jazz. I love jazz. the side here. So I'm actually going to bring it over. And I'm just actually going to do a little bit of purple up here. A little bit of purple down here. And so if you're coloring along with me, I hope that you're adding things to be all your own. I don't want your art to look exactly like mine. I want it to look like yours. How are you going to make it all your own? Oh, this is so bright. It's making me so happy. I love bright colors. Especially with the sun coming in through my window over there. Like I have another window like right over there. And it's just warming my face, bringing me joy. Wow, I need to go outside once I finish making this video. I think I need a little bit more pattern, so I'm going to go back in with some more Zentangle stuff. I want to add some pattern all the way around. So I'm going to do actually what's my favorite kind of pattern. I call it the crazy basket weave. But I basically take 3 lines and I go 1, 2, 3, and then I change direction. And I keep changing direction and building the lines off of each other until I've filled in my space. And this is going to take me some time. Let me look at it. So when I'm making art and I don't always know where it's going, sometimes I start a piece of art like this one and I take my lion for a walk and I don't really know where it's gonna go or what it's gonna become. I just do one step at a time and I kind of step back, I look up, I look away from it, and I look down and I say, okay, what does this need? And I think right now needs a little bit more color. So I'm just gonna keep coloring. All right, I think I'm done. I can hold it up and show. There you go. Thanks for joining me today on our art tidbits. And I hope that you take some time to just calm and doodle. I feel so relaxed and calm now after just spending 30 minutes making that doodle. So thank you for coming along on the journey, and I will see you tomorrow. I miss you guys, and I hope you're having a great day. Bye.